Hey everyone, Scott with Air Gunner Review. So today we are going to be doing a little project on my Salt S2, and we are going to be putting a wrap on just like I did with my Byrna LE, as you can see, but I'm doing it just a little differently. On this one, I'm only going to be covering the very top here, and I'm going to be covering where this used to be, the grip. And I'm going to be covering this here using this wrap right here. This stuff is really good. It's what I used on my Byrna LE. I also have done my AEA Defender. That's my small one. This is my less lethal AEA Defender. I just like to personalize these things as much as I can, just to give it a little oomph to them, make it kind of my own style. And I like this because it hides the compensator up here, which I kind of like that idea. Anyhow, these come from Amazon. They're the best that I've come up with today. I've used many of them. They're not that papery feeling. They really feel more like rubberized. It gives it a nice grip. I've had this on for quite some time. I've even taken it off because I had to send it back to Byrna. It just heated it up with the heat gun. Took it back off. When it came back in, I popped it back on. Everything went back on just great. Anyhow, this is what I'm using. It is called Gun Skins. I will leave a link below. Yeah, our channel gets a little money if you follow my link, which I would appreciate. Anyhow, this is it right here. This one is called True Timber Strata. That's what this is right here. If you're looking for that, link below. Comes in huge sheets. This is all I have left, but I mean, there's enough to do probably 7-8 pistols. You can screw up and you'll have plenty. I don't know. I think it's like 4-foot strips. I think very large strips. So you get your money's worth. It's like $50 or $55 for this, but it's well worth it because you get so much of it. And this one is the, let's see, this is called what? Cryptex Typhoon, something like that. And that's what it looks like. I chose this gray because I knew I was going to be putting this on since I had it left over. Anyhow, let's get to it. What you're going to need, a pair of scissors is very important to start with, of course. A ruler, a pencil, an X-Acto knife of some sort. Again, you can find all this stuff on Amazon. I will leave a link down below for you. You don't need a heat gun. You can use a hairdryer. Certainly has enough oomph to do what we need to do, but we need to kind of heat it up and stretch it on. So that's what we need. Another good idea is graph paper. I use graph paper. This makes it just a line graph paper like that. I gotta tell you, this stuff works awesome for that type of project. Now, to get going on covering just the very top, what I've got to do, and I'm going to come around the side. I've already had made a template, and I'm going to show you guys how to make this template. Fairly easy, and what it does, I drew a center line, so I know this guy's got to go on here like that. This goes right over onto there, and then this whole thing's going to come just like that. That's what it's going to look like after I am done. I purposely put it into this groove where this groove is, because just like with my Byrna LE, what happens when you put this on, it'll probably heat up and stretch over it. Then I can just take my X-Acto knife and then trim it down right here if need to. I'm not sure, but I did with my Byrna LE. Anyhow, let's get to some sizes here. I pre-cut one right here, and this is, how do I turn it around? 3 1/4 inches wide. I like to make sure when I do it that I'm not starting with like a half space here. Full line to full line. These are 1/4 inch increments. So 3 3/4 inches works perfect. I'm sorry, 3 1/4 inch in width is perfect. In length, we are talking about 8.5 inches in total length. So 3 1/4 by 8.5. Lined paper works great. And then what you have to do is find your center. There's a couple ways. You can just measure it off if you want, or you can fold it in half. Find your center, like so. And then what I'm going to do on my center is I am going to, just going to make sure I clarify exact center. Then I'm going to draw a line on my center. Front sight. It's exactly 1/4 inch here and 1.5 of those squares. And it's just in a little bit. If you see, it's just a hair in. Let me see if we can get a measurement on that. It is like, I'm gonna go with 1/8 of an inch. So it's 1/8 of an inch, and it's just inside this mark right here to here. The idea is to make it just a little bit smaller than you need to, and then you can always kind of cut out a little bit more, So is this exact science? No, but I'm going to tell you, it'll probably come very close. Front sight. Another helpful tool. Cutting board. And we're going to cut this out. Like so. Let's check it, make sure it works. Now the idea, once you get this in here like that, when you put the actual stuff on here, the skin, if you have a little left over, you can just take your X-Acto knife and trim off anything that's excess. So you're better off making it a little small. That seems to be perfect right there. Fits fine. Now to the front sight, my cheat sheet here. I'm sorry, to the rear sight, which is back here. From that square over, six and 7/8. Oh, yep, 6 and 7/8 inches over from the back sight to here, 6 and 7/8. So let's do that. And it looks like it comes right to a square. So let's see here. Six and 7/8. It's really close. On one, right on that line right there. So if you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 back from here, and that's where it is. And it covers 3 of these squares, so that would be 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to go a total depth of 1.5 squares, a full square and a half a square. Full and a half right here to here. And don't cut this out yet. And what we're going to do, I'm going to mix this. Okay, so what you've got is 3 across, 1 full, 1 up, and then we're going to draw an angle on here. And I will show you in a minute. Okay, so I went over 1 full square. There's my half line, and you can see where this is angled to that square right here. But we're not going to cut that out. We're going to cut out is this part, this, all the way around to there. So even though I drew my angle from this one to here, we're not going to cut that out. We're going to cut it right at that line. We'll show you in 2 seconds. That's what you have. Now we're going to check it. Voila. So that's how easy that is. Now, the next part about this is you can see we're over on either side. And my original pattern here, I did this and then I realized that it does not cover everything I need it to cover. You see how it's kind of doesn't cover all the way over here. So now we're just going to have to shape that out a little bit. And basically all I'm going to do is take my pencil and crease it. And here's the thing, I'd rather undercut it and then finish it off when I'm using the actual skin. Pretty close. All I'm going to do now is I'm just going to tweak it a little bit, or maybe I won't. Let's see here. It looks like I got to trim just a little bit more off here. Fold it in half just so I get the whole thing. That should be close enough. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm going to pencil it in here. And this little notch right here. There we have it. Looks pretty good. Looks like it still needs a little trimming right here. I'll do that when I actually put it on. Got my heat gun all ready to go if I need it. Let's peel this bad boy back. Gonna start. Right there. It's going to happen. You're going to get little wrinkles and creases here, but don't get too concerned about them yet. That's why you got to heat them up a little bit. Work on this side. Just giving it the little definition where all these little grooves are. Sight needs to be cleaned up just a little bit right there. Not looking too bad. So the next part of this is the easy part. All right, let's see how this works. A little different look to it. Not bad. Anyhow, hope this helps you figure out how to personalize your own weapon. Hey guys, as always, I appreciate you watching, and you guys take care. Thanks for watching.